And welcome back to Talkin Spit Afterhours. We're your hosts, TJ Bay and Alan Poe, back once again with the latest and greatest. 1 second, T. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching our YouTube channel and subscribing to it. We're almost close to a thousand subscribers, so we do appreciate your attention and everything you guys are liking about our show, about our podcast.
Yes, we appreciate that deeply. Thank you.
All right. Well, it seems today that the world is getting more and more selfish. But not only that, though, I feel like the world is getting more entitled. Wouldn't you say?
Of course. Everybody is, well, not everybody. We're just going to sum it up to what we've seen this past week on the internet. So I noticed that there was a video of 50 Cent's son.
Mm.
He's a 25-year-old kid that lives in New York.
Okay.
So the reason why we wanted to talk about this, or I wanted to bring this up, was because he was told, or he was telling the other dude that his father was paying $6,700 a month for child support, and that wasn't enough.
Let me hold on real quick. Now, is he still paying that, or was it when he was a child?
That's what I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because if he's giving it to him now,
as a 25-year-old nigga, you need to get out there and work.
Yeah, that's sad. So, but we wanted to touch on the entitlement part of it. So he was saying that $81,000 a year is not enough. Like if he had to start over or start his life over. And I just wanted to address what I could do with $81,000.
Yeah, that's a good paying job. Shit.
That's upper echelon job.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like in big corporate America, I mean, 80 grand a year, you're doing all right for yourself.
You're doing really well for yourself,
especially if you're single, for one, or if you're married and you have a spouse that works. So that just adds on to the total. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But at the same time, so this little dude was sitting there just saying like how he couldn't start his life over for $81,000 a year. And first of all, where's the mother doing in this fact? Because if she's getting $81,000 for child support, how much is she bringing in? And what is she doing? So that wasn't said on there because
she made $81,000. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was doing, collecting that check.
Yeah, she collected that check, but at the same time, did she work? Did she do anything else? Because if they was living off that $81,000, then paying rent, and then this little boy wanted to have a lavish lifestyle. And I heard a interview that 50 or something did, and he was saying that at one time his son wanted 50 pairs of sneakers because some little boy came to school and supposedly stunned it on him and said he had 50 pairs of sneakers. And so I think his name is Marquise or something like that.
Okay.
But anyways, so
you gonna stun on me, Dad? Yeah, let me get 50 pairs of shoes. Take that.
So the next day, right? I mean, fuck that. So the next day, I guess he supposedly told his mom, and his mom made it happen. So he got, I guess it wasn't 50 pairs of shoes, it was more like 20 or something like that. But still, it was, and they were high grade retro sneakers and shit like that. So they were probably, it was probably about thousands of dollars they paid for this stuff.
Okay, let me interject real quick. So on the mother's part, I don't know you, lady, and I'm not trying to disrespect you and your parenting style or parenting skills, but Ari couldn't come to me and say, hey, some kid stunned on me and I need 20 pairs of retro Jordans. I'm not spending thousands and thousands of dollars that you're just going to run through, fuck up, and just waste the money. Now, if you're an adult, I might get you, 2 pair. And I mean, even those depend on the grade, depending on how old they are or how rare they are, that's still probably a grand or two. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
for you as a young kid to want this high valued merchandise, especially tennis shoes, that's just ridiculous.
That's not the
And
end of the story, just so
oh,
you know.
okay, okay. Well, I'm sorry I had to jump in because it's like, you
No,
know, for
I
me as
got
a parent, is like, what are your priorities and what examples are you trying to set for your son? So now, as he gets older,
no, I got you. I got you.
these niggas, man.
Um, so the second part now is supposedly he got the pairs of sneakers, right?
Mhm.
And then 50 said he wasn't satisfied, then he was thinking of like which new ones he didn't have, or all the ones he got, he wasn't appreciative.
Oh, he wasn't satisfied.
So he wasn't satisfied. He was thinking of, oh, instead of like the ones he got, he was like, man, these, these. So the entitlement from this little nigga is just ridiculous. And I don't know if it's a front, to get, to do the trending thing, or if it's really real. But if it's really real, man, man, just instead of giving him the trending shit, or if we are making him trend, then why are we not all laughing at this little dude there?
Well, for one, he gets looks because it's 50 Cent's son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that alone will garner him attention, you know,
Yeah.
oh, just hear me out, man. My dad wasn't doing this and this and that. But dog, I don't care how rich, how famous you are. I mean, even though your parents might have that money, 6,700 a month, that's a lot of money, dude. Now, if you're blowing through that, like I said, once again, I'm not talking about his mother, but as a parent, if you're blowing through $6,700 and if it's not rent related, then you have a bigger problem than you think.
Man, we are blaming the mother, man. That is ridiculous because I don't care who your child is or who the father of your child is, to pick up money about it. Because fuck you, fuck everyone that you talk about or whatever the hell. That is bullshit. All sit here and get hella money, shit like that, just given to us.
Right.
So I mean, 81 G's a year, cause nigga, I'm good.
All right. Let's give an example. So there was a homeboy. Well, I mean, we weren't really close, but we all knew him. I knew him from
Oh,
Orteris, and we knew him from both from King.
oh,
Ronaldo Reyes. And when I talk about this man, he had every pair of shoes to match every outfit.
oh, okay,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
He wore purple, but the shoes matched his purple. Or he wore green. He had shoes to go with the green. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Like, so he's stunning for real on everybody because like no one could say nothing because he had the gear. So imagine you or myself going back to our parents like, hey, I need like a whole new fresh, outfit or a whole wardrobe for the rest of the school year because this kid Ronaldo's over here stunting on everybody. So I want to be bigger than him. I want to pass him up and show him I got just as much swag.
More power to you, my nigga.
Yeah, but you would get your ass whipped. You know what I'm saying, by your parents, and I get my ass whipped by my mother. You know what I'm saying, just for even asking a question like that. Like, nigga, are you crazy?
But he standing on us though, man. We need that though. I
Uh,
mean,
but it's the internet. It's just the way, like Instagram. Everyone. All right. I think the biggest issue that I have, and there needs to be something going on in the world, but it feels like everyone is lacking something in their lives to where they need attention. And in order for them to feel appreciated or to feel loved, they need those likes. They need, you know what I'm saying? They need those subscriptions. They need people to be like, oh, yeah, we love you so much. Oh, you look great. Da, da, da. They need that affirmation, so to speak.
Right. Man, that's what social media has done to us these days, because it makes us crave attention, crave likes and shit like that. And don't lie, cause and I know people out there feel the same way now. Because, when you post a picture that you're hella proud of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I was doing something, yada, yada, yada. And then say your friend basis, I'll just throw this out here. Say you have 800 friends, right?
Okay.
And say you post that picture, nigga, and you get 86 people that like that picture. And you know what I'm saying? You
You feel
you
like your
most of
post
your
was
picture,
garbage?
right? Nah, most of your pictures most of the time get 26, 30, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 18 likes, you know what I'm saying? But at one time you post that picture, you got 80, 86. So nigga,
You're like, yeah, I did it with that
yeah.
one.
So that social media thing has made us crave that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, we've all done it, man. We posted a picture, and when people actually like it, it makes you feel good. So
True, true. But I mean, like, we're not out here, well, I'll speak for myself. If I post a picture, I'm not out here like, oh man, hope somebody likes it. Like, I'm just posting a picture because I want to, or I'll make a post about something that, like last night, I posted about Patty LaBelle's mac and cheese. This shit is bomb. But I was like, hey, that's just my thought. So whoever wanted to try Patty LaBelle's mac and cheese, hey, it gets my stamp of approval. I'm not looking like, oh, who else is going to jock this? Who else is going, and then whoever else buys it, I won't be like, oh yeah, I put you onto that. Nah, it's like, hey, this is what I found. I liked it. So hey, if you guys are looking for some, a quick ready mac and cheese, hey, this might be the one you might like.
yeah, I was wondering what you were saying on there, because I was like, what the hell talking about?
Yeah, because Patty LaBelle got that mac and cheese, guys.
the, the PB mac and cheese.
Hey, but I mean, honestly, I mean, this isn't a sponsorship. This is not a plug, but compared to homemade, it's pretty close.
Is it better than Kraft though?
No, this is like no. All right, so like on Thanksgiving and Christmas when your parents or grandparents make macaroni and cheese.
No, the homemade mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's like that mac and cheese. This isn't that powdered Kraft where you add some milk and stir it up. No, this is like, what I'm saying. And I put it in the microwave because like if you baked it, it took like an hour, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes for it to be done in the oven. So I put it in the microwave and it was still good.
Okay. All right. You got to
So,
try that Patty Bill.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I was very. I mean, because her pies are good. So,
Mm,
when Jelly brought it home, I was like, oh, all right, let's try it. And I was like,
let's do
nigga,
it.
I ate half that container. And like,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Well, I guess since we focusing on some more positive stuff, man, one thing
no,
I
no,
just
no,
want
no,
to
no, no.
add.
Wait, I don't want to get off this entitlement first.
All right, well, then
So,
let's keep going.
so we're both fathers. We both have young daughters. Now, let's say by chance this podcast of ours ends up blowing up and we end up making money, right?
Okay.
And of course, our living situations will be different. Of course, they would be upgraded. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your lifestyle would change a little bit and their lifestyle would change. Do you think as they got older that they would feel entitled to having more stuff or like better stuff?
Um, for Braylon's sake and my stepkid's sake, they better than that. Because man, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting it out the mud, and so can you.
I mean, because that can kind of go a lot of ways. Even in sports, one example, all right,
Go ahead.
Michael Vick played
Mhm.
quarterback at the University of Virginia Tech, correct?
Right.
He was in the Heisman running. He didn't win, but he was an All-American. He was balling out. Got drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. Okay,
All right.
his little brother,
Marcus.
Marcus,
Mm-hmm.
played at Virginia Tech. Was supposed to be like the next coming or just as good, right?
Right.
Now, when it comes to entitlement, do you think that he felt entitled because, yeah, my brother's Michael Vick, so I know I'm going to the league, or I should be starting at VT?
It could, it, yeah. I think in Marcus Vick's case, yes.
Why? Because his brother was a star, so he feels entitled that, yeah, I should be the next star.
Well, I mean, it's not like he didn't have any accolades coming into he was rated as a better passer than his brother coming in
True,
out of college and stuff like that. So, I mean,
but when you saw the game tape, it was quite different.
it was very different. But yeah, like you said, 'cause, I mean, some people it happens that way. Some people it doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Like
But
okay, I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, like in the Manning's case, Peyton and Eli made it. And Cooper, he
But I heard Cooper. Well, Cooper was sick for a while, so
well, yeah, I think he had some kind of injury, but it didn't. It still didn't pan out. Both his brothers had. I'm not saying Cooper Rush. I'm Cooper Rush. I'm not saying Cooper Manning felt uh entitled or anything, but like in his case, he could have because his brothers. I don't know if
true.
he did, but
But he didn't play the quarterback position though. He was a wide receiver.
right. But
But
still,
you can kind of turn that around though, because their father Archie in New Orleans area, Mississippi area, he's a god. So you could have thought of them coming to the league having that arrogance, that big head. Like you know who my dad is, and had an NFL career and couldn't have won a Super Bowl. But they actually, both of them, Eli and Peyton, both won Super Bowls, which put them above their father in a sense. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So it's like, okay, we made our own way. Yes, we're your sons. And we got looked at because of you prior
yep,
to the NFL, but yeah, we made a name for ourselves.
true. So all I'm just saying, man, is this entitlement shit is getting ridiculous because I was watching it, cousin. I was like, man, this little nigga is for what he's saying, cousin. Excuse my language. I don't know if anybody's all sensitive about when I say that. I don't
Yeah,
mean,
but right.
I'm not talking mentality or anything like that. It is a slang word for dumb. I
Well,
could just say dumb, but
that's kind
that's how I thought.
of
But anyways,
nigga's
so
explanation.
he's man, this dude has it kind of just made me like just think like, cause if I had $81,000, like I said, and I was in high school, and my mom, even whatever my mom, whatever she was doing, as
If she broke
regardless,
if she broke you off 10 grand a year, you're set.
yeah, yeah, like you're in high school, yeah. You're in high school, bro. What do you got to worry? You're buying tennis shoes, you know what I'm saying? You're going to the mall, you're buying food and shit like that, clothes, whatever. Cause like I would have been, man, I'd have had my own car. Like, like this little nigga need to shut the hell up. Cause like there's just some stuff you don't need to say, man. Cause
Okay, so he's 25 years old. So the way this comes up, I'm wondering in my head, okay, is this from the past that he's speaking about, or is this happening right now? He never really made that clear.
he didn't.
But
So
even if it was in the past, like, nigga, you were taken care of. You had
yeah, you was
like,
good. You was good. Period. You was good.
that's crazy.
I don't know if you're doing this shit for YouTube clips or whatever, but like I know 100% the internet says this little nigga was good, or he should have been.
And then I kind of think about, I think his head was blown up from the beginning during the Wanksta video. When 50
Well,
Cent first came out, he had a song called Wanksta,
right.
and his son was in that video.
I
So
didn't know.
I'm wondering if that's what sparked like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just as important too. I'm a star.
Um, that nah, it was more than like we said, entitlement. My dad's a star, so nigga, you gotta do what I say because of my dad. So
True.
all I'm saying, little niggas, man, don't come around me with that crap, because you're entitled to get your ass whooped with a, you know what I'm saying, like an old fashioned way, put you across the knee, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, at 25, little nigga, man, just shut up, cause just go about your business. You can go like you are 50 Cent's son, so you have avenues.
I,
Oh, I didn't add this stuff. Okay. So apparently 50 Cent also made him a sneaker website to where he can sell exclusive sneakers and shit like that. And he stopped and like he took the website or sold it, and then started a boutique with his mom. So in this, I can't really say anything bad about 50 Cent's parenting because he was trying, and for this little dude to be like he is, cause like this is like that is the sum of freaking entitlement that just sums it up in the worst way.
what I'm from what you just told me, what I'm getting from this, I wouldn't say, well, maybe it's a sense of entitlement, but he doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work hard. Like
Yeah,
your dad sets you up for success. So just being attached to 50 Cent, people will come boutique,
website.
to your website, to your boutique, and shop from you. But it sounds like he didn't want to put the hard work in, so he sold it, and then now working with his mom. But is his mom doing most of the work?
Most likely.
I don't know. I mean, I just can't see it. Like I pray, or not pray, but I had a pretty good life thus far. But I'm just imagining how far I could have taken it if my parents were,
A
you know,
better means. All right.
right, right. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows?
And I mean, and that's for everybody. You really have to look. You have to look at the ones whose parents, did the best they could, but yet they still managed to overcome that and become successful.
They and even if you're even like and even if my parents didn't make it and they weren't like that, man, that doesn't mean that you can't work to try to be like that yourself. Like it's ridiculous, man. These kids nowadays, because they're just, I mean, that's getting absurd.
Okay, but see, it's like devil's advocate because now I can turn the mirror on myself, and I'm sure you can, and most parents out there. So, what is the one thing when you're a parent or get ready to become a parent? The one thing that's in the back of your mind is, you know what, my child's gonna have a better life than I did.
Right?
So by saying that and putting that out there in the atmos, we give our kids everything they want. You know what I'm saying? We try to give them things that we didn't have in life,
To an extent, yes.
of course. But you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good thought.
I think we kind of made them uh codependent a little bit, just our kids in
Right.
general, because anytime they ask, I mean, it's something like outrageous. If I said, hey dad, I want a PS5 for Christmas, I'm sure somebody will get her one, but I'm gonna be pissed off because I've been trying to get a PS5 for the past 2.5 years. I'm like, hold up, no,
Mm.
you can't get a PS5 until I
Until
get
I
one.
do,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Yeah, you can play mine, but you ain't getting your own. Hell no. Nah.
Well, I mean, for some parents, it goes the other way, and that's when they say, they want the kids to have a better life, and that's part of them having a better life, a PS5.
I mean, I grew up in a household where, what I'm saying, mom's like, when we get in the store, don't you ask me for shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Don't,
don't you ask me for
don't
shit.
touch nothing. Don't say a motherfucking word.
And no matter what
You
the
ain't getting shit.
Yeah, but no matter what though, you tried about 4 or 5 times
Yeah,
later the story like, hey, how about this? He's like, no, like,
you know, like, and then like maybe the fifth, sixth time you ask, because that the back of them two fingers just comes blow right in your mouth, because
in front of everybody, nigga. And other parents didn't say nothing. They was like, yeah, he deserved that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
That's totally different than the world we live in now, man. Because back then, other parents would see us get whooped on, and they'd be like, ooh, she got you.
Yeah, I
Like,
wonder. He was probably acting up. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
what that.
you ain't like, what you looking at, man? Fuck you. Like, worry about yourself.
Nowadays, like, well, it seems he's harming the child. Let's call child services immediately.
I think he's being neglected at home. Why else would he act that way?
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, this is ridiculous with this shit.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's jump to our next topic. So speaking of entitlement, which kind of is different. So
Right.
LeBron James, I'm sure everyone knows who that is, but his younger son, Bronny Jr., he
Mm-hmm.
inked. So I guess he just turned 18 either today or yesterday, but
Right.
he inked his NIL deal with Nike.
How much was it?
They didn't specify that.
It's in the millions. I know that for sure.
Right. How do we feel about well he's 18 so he's legally an adult. I'm not sure if for the NIL if you have to be at least 18 to sign a deal. So I don't know if you're younger than that if you can sign a deal. I doubt it. I don't think that would be a good idea, but how do you feel about younger kids at 18 making this kind of money?
Um,
And do you think it's valid that he's making this money, or do you think it's not entitlement, but do you think it's because of who his father is?
in Bronny's case now, at first you could say it was because of LeBron, but I mean, I watched some of this stuff. I've seen some of this stuff. He's a real humble kid too,
Yeah,
you know.
but
And
he's good. He's decent. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
and he is decent, but I think more so why he's getting this stuff now is at first it was because he was LeBron's son, but now people are starting to know him as a person. You know, they're seeing like how, like, you know, when he played for the school he played for, how he just stepped in and he wasn't like, I'm LeBron James' son, like
right,
I should be getting the ball and like that. He just played within his means, you know. uh, he was a role player, and sometimes if he had to, you know, he would take over a couple games and stuff like that. But that humbleness and that, you know, what I'm saying that he, it's 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 hard not to like for people not to like that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Well, and kudos to LeBron James and his mother, man. I mean, you know,
yeah,
to
that's
to
good
raise him as
parent.
being to raise him to be a humble young kid because it's like if I was LeBron, I'd be like, hey, nigga, this is my money. Like,
Yeah,
hey, you
yeah.
know, yeah,
And many kids would be doing like that. Many kids would be, and probably are.
okay. So let's say, for instance, if NIL deals can be signed, let's say your junior year of high school, okay,
Hmm.
when you know you're ready to take off, get bigger on the high school scene, eventually, hopefully, go to to a D1 college. Okay, now being 16, 17 years old, giving contracts and these deals to these kids of this age, do you think that's a good idea?
It depends. I think they should add like some kind of level to where the kids learn from the contracts, you know, while they're just not signing some paper that, you know, with their name on it. They should learn like uh what the contract is, the clauses, what, you know, all the stipulations, you know, the laws that go behind it. Because at the same time, is if they're doing these contracts now, when they get older, all they're going to just be doing is just signing their name on lines, and they're not going to know anything about the contracts. So,
Right, and then getting screwed out of millions of dollars. Yeah.
right. So I think if they add into like, you know, where the kids are learning something from it, then hey, I'm all for it. But if it's just like, hey, you know, like me and I want, you know, you put your name on this line and stuff like that, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good idea that you came up with, especially, since like you said, they'll be dealing with contracts the majority of their lives. At least
Yeah,
learn. So if you're gonna give them that money, they have to take like a 6 month course to learn the basics of what to look for or how to read a contract correctly.
right.
And then
Shit.
once you complete that course, okay, here's your money.
I
Which
mean, if these people, I mean, if the NIL actually cares about these kids, then then they would do something like that. But I mean, if they don't, then guess what? All you're just gonna see these kids signing papers. They getting millions and millions of dollars, and then they acting a fool with it
can you imagine?
because
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, you good.
Can
Dude.
you well, Nike's smart because LeBron James is signed under Nike, right? So
Right.
could you imagine if Bronny and him play on the same team, what that shoe is going to look like and what it's going to be called? It's going to be called like father like son edition, or you know what I mean, like something like that.
Man, I think Bronny is. Man, he'll do that, but at the same time, man, he gonna want his own shoes, man. You know what I'm saying? That'll be like a Christmas special or something like a
Right,
special
right, right.
edition.
Yeah,
Nigga, you can get them for 10 G's and shit like that.
look at them motherfuckers right on the shelf.
And then 50 Cent's son gonna be asking for them motherfuckers, yeah, instead of being able to go out and purchase the motherfuckers himself if you want them. But but to
For
me,
sure.
because shout out to Bronny though, because that's pretty good. That's you know I'm happy for him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm happy for most kids like that. But at the same time, kids, man, if you are getting these deals, man, don't just sit back and just sign your name on it. Just be like, oh, collecting your cash, man.
Right.
Learn about it, man. Learn.
And if you're smart enough, say, hey, let me get half of this in money and the other half in stocks.
I don't know about stocks, man, but
Well,
I would take that.
I mean, stocks in Nike, you're not gonna,
Oh, well, yeah, that's
you know what I'm
different.
saying? If that's who you
Yeah.
sign with,
Oh,
then
right.
let me
Okay, I
get
see
half in
what you
money
mean.
and half in stocks.
In the stock that you're signing with
Right.
from the people that you're signing with. Right.
Because, knock on wood, but in case if he does end up getting injured or something bad happens to him, he still has that stock to fall back on if need
Right.
be. Because
Right.
the money won't always be there. You know what I mean?
Nigga, that shit. And if I was LeBron, I would put that in the stipulation and be like, hey, yeah, yeah, all
He probably did. Who
right.
knows?
Yeah, we don't. I'm sure I'm sure once like he's 18, but once the deal actually is able to be seen more, we'll see, we'll be able to, talk a little bit more about it. But anyways, in the meantime though, shout out to him because I'm happy for him. That's dope for a kid to do.
Yep.
Um,
And it
so
wasn't just him. It was like I want to say they gave a total of like five other high school athletes as well, but his
oh,
name
that's
just
up.
stood out. So
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Like that.
yeah, that's dope. But yeah, man, we got
Mhm.
a couple more minutes, man. About probably 2 or 3 minutes left. Is there anything else that you want to tell our public or anything that you want to get off your chest real quick?
I mean, um, we're gonna start doing a couple of things different, adding a little things to the show. Maybe do some live shows, man. Hopefully you guys can get on and chop it up with us because it's all about revolutionizing, I guess I should say. And we are trying to evolve in this, and we just want to make it more to where people can interact with us and have fun with us because that's what this shit is basically for. It's fun.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
although we did have someone on the internet say, why do men not want to talk to therapists? Instead, they just want to start a podcast.
Well, for one, because we like talking to our homeboys because our homeboys are probably going through the same shit that we're going through, so we
Right.
can get a different perspective from it. So why spend money to speak to a therapist when I can talk to my homie for free?
Yeah. I mean, let them know all your problems, cuz, you know what I'm saying? And then your homeboy can still be objective, cuz, and it
Right,
helps.
right, right, right.
So
So that's why,
Bang, that's why we do it.
that's why, ladies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
We
why
can,
men do this podcast.
yeah, because men are, more honest to each other. I mean, I'm sure women can be honest too to each other, but 9 times out of 10, they're not really blunt about it. They're trying to go around it, so to speak. Whereas men are like, hey man, you fucking up, handle your shit, get your shit right, and then,
Do better.
right.
Bang, bang.
Bop, bop, bop.
Hey, man, you see all these little notifications right here on the desk in front of, or notifications. These
Oh
are
yeah.
our Twitter handles and our Instagram handles. Please go on there, follow us, you know, like our stuff, help us evolve as
And
we evolve.
yeah, and definitely, subscribe to our channel, but leave comments, man. What do you like? What you don't like? Can we liven up the conversations? Can we talk about more things besides sports, movies, things of that nature? Do you want us to get more deep into conversation about life? Because I'm down for that conversation as well. I mean, I'm sure we're going to have one sooner or later, but
Right.
give us feedback of what you guys might want to hear us talk about.
For sure.
And then if you want to come on the show, man, just let us know because we have no issue with that. We'll bring anyone onto the show, to speak, to give their opinion about things as well. So
Yeah, just chop it or just chop it up with the shit. Fuck it. So
yep, this is the show of the people.
all right, Al, I guess you can take it to the bridge and
And thank you guys once again for listening to the Talkin Spit After Hours podcast. We're your hosts, TJ Bay and Alan Poe. Thank you guys once again for subscribing, checking us out, and paying attention to the jewels we're dropping. If you like it, you like it. If you love it, you love it. We love y'all. Peace.
deuces. Y'all have a good week.
See y'all niggas next week.
All right now.
Yes, sir.